This right there is like always risky to chase too much down, especially in low MMR. A lot of people will like over chase and over aggro and then they just die like this. This is like a perfect example of what's gonna happen if people are not good at the game most of the time. They just over chase and then they fuck up for like 2 to 3 seconds, or like they're over chasing too much and then they just die like this. Because getting skewed into tier 2 minute like 0 is kind of uncommon. Like you don't see this often. Hello everybody and welcome back to the next video. This time we're gonna watch a specific bracket. As you can see, we're watching a legend game. That basically means I'm gonna just watch the game. Probably we're gonna do like a 50-50 between like every single lane. I wanna watch the mid lane for like 1 minute, I wanna watch the offlane for 1 minute, and then I wanna watch the safe lane for 1 minute, just to see what they're doing, how they're playing, and what is their goal, and what they're doing good and what they're doing wrong. And if you guys like the format, we can do this in the future about like other brackets as well, or other ranks, and maybe if you're lucky, I'm gonna decide like a game from a viewer, and I'm just gonna watch this game. So most of the time we're gonna watch Evan, but I just wanna see the entire team, what they're doing, and I just wanna give you some conclusions, what they're doing good and what they're doing bad. And in order to see this, we just need to like look step for step what they're doing and look into it a little bit. So we're just gonna start on the safe lane and then we're gonna go on. So first of all, they're gonna fight level 1, which is kind of common. Like every bracket is like kind of fighting level 1, but it depends what kind of heroes you have. So I would definitely recommend you not fighting if you don't have any stuns on your lineup. Or if you have like stuns, but you don't want to like skill them on level 1. That's like one important thing I would always recommend you. Plus this right there is like always risky to chase too much down, especially in low MMR. A lot of people will like over chase and over aggro and then they just die like this. This is like a perfect example of what's gonna happen if people are not good at the game most of the time. They just over chase and then they fuck up for like 2 to 3 seconds, or like they're over chasing too much and then they just die like this. Because getting skewed into tier 2 minute like 0 is kind of uncommon. Like you don't see this often. You can, but you don't see it often. So always remember, do not over chase if you don't have any catch or stuns. So let's see the safe lane a little bit. Gonna go into player perspective, and I just want to see what the Luna does. We're also gonna watch the Witch Doctor a little bit, what he's doing. So I'm gonna do it like a little bit fast forward because I want to watch the top lane as well, and I want to like split it between like 2 minutes top lane, 2 minutes mid lane, and 2 minutes safe lane. So first of all, the laning stage is pretty simple for Witch Doctor and Luna. They're playing against 2 melees. That basically means they have a pretty easy time if they don't get hooked or skewed backed. And even if they do, if they have like enough regen, for example a stick, fairy fire, and level 2 or 3, they can even turn around and kill them. So the first important thing on this situation is basically this Witch Doctor guy needs to block this big camp. Because I do not see a sentry in the map, that basically means he did not block the big camp, and Patch is gonna get level 2 for free with 1 hook, because he's gonna hook the big camp, and maybe he's gonna even get a pull out. I like the fact they are trying to deny together, but for example, there are 2 range heroes against a melee hero. They need to hit the Patch. Whenever he comes close, they need to hit him. Especially because they saw the Magnus as well. If you're just going back a little bit. So now we're slowing down a little bit, and we're gonna see the Magnus on the left side, I think. Yes, you saw him for like a millisecond here. That basically means that now the Magnus is not there, they need to hit this Patch. And this is what is important on the laning stage. Like Luna tries it, but the Witch Doctor is very passive, and he doesn't really care. Like they need to play way more aggro, especially if the Magnus is not showing. There are like there are 2 plays they can basically do on the offlane, on the dire side. That means either they pull the big camp because they have it, which they're not. He sentry blocked it, so the Witch Doctor did a good job there. The Magnus did a bad job there to not unblock it. Sadly, I didn't saw it on the minimap for some reason. And there are like 2 plays. Either Magnus is gonna like go behind the tower and pull the wave, or the Magnus is just chilling in the trees and do nothing. Because he's not showing he's not showing in the wave. That basically means he doesn't do anything. Because he can't jungle and he can't do like anything else besides pulling. So the fact that they have the big camp blocked secures them the lane, kind of. The only big thing that the Witch Doctor can do right now is basically when the Patch is alone in the lane and the Magnus is not showing, the Witch Doctor can easily pull the small camp, for example. But I like the fact they are going on them because I realize they are 2 rangers and they're gonna go like they can just attack them whenever they want to. Which is good. Just harass them a little bit, all good. As long as they are not getting hooked and skewered, everything is fine on this lane. So for example right here, they can keep hitting them. The Witch Doctor doesn't even need to be like that scared. Because the enemies are not strong and they are very close to level 2. So you need to always like look at your strong points. What is important? You level 2, you level 3, maybe you level 5, you never know. But you need to like be ready. Whenever you almost like level 2, you can already play aggro before it happens. So level 2, now they can play even more aggro if they want to. But as you can see, they're playing very, very passive. Even though they're 2 midi heroes, they don't do anything. So that's the classic. Whenever the game is like a little bit lower, people are just AFK on the lane and they don't want to do anything. Witchshock is not hitting them because both of them are kind of full HP. Witchshock is not pulling the small camp, he's not stacking the small camp, he's just sitting there, at least he's denying with him and sometimes he's hitting them, but that's it. He could have done so much more if he wants to. So now we're gonna go to the offlane. So just for example, Earthshaker's position 4 here, he has a clarity on, he's the warding middle. It is good, yes, but at the same time it's bad. Because if we're just watching this, what he's doing, he's dewarding, perfect. Now we can see the experience. He's literally taking the experience for the Storm Spirit, which is insane. He took 2 creeps experience. Now the Storm Spirit is gonna be level 2 when the Kunkka is almost level 3, kind of. If the Kunkka gets more denies, which is illegal. This is, guys, if you play pos 4 or pos 5, it doesn't matter what, do not soak experience from your mid laner. The ward, and go out of the experience. This is insane game ruin for your mid laner, because he's gonna be level 2 so late, and the enemy mid laner is gonna be level 2, like, I don't know, 30 seconds before him. So try to definitely avoid that if you do whatever the Shaker just did. So let's see. There are 2 midis as well against 2 rangers, right? Yes. It's like the same situation as bottom lane, just on the opposite team. So let's see what they're doing. Shaker denies, very good. The Drow is very aggro this time, but the problem is Drow's aggro when there's no Nature's Prophet. Like, Drow can like literally FK click them if the Nature's is right next to him. I like the fact that Nature's blocks the big camp because it's very good. Like, he needs to make sure it's blocked. So right now, this is the classic what's happening. Instead of like doing this, the Shaker could just like deny with the Abaddon. I get the point, you can 1v1 the Nature, but the problem is Nature usually trades better than you, level 1. Because Nature has very good attack damage and very good stats as well. And the only benefit I'm seeing right there is basically that the Abaddon can win 1v1 against the Drow. But if the Drow is smart, she will just AFK click the Abaddon until he's low HP. And then like, Abaddon can't do much anymore. So Shaker just runs around, he's like warding. It's pretty late because he was not ready. He lost a sentry, which is not good. And one more point as well. If you put a sentry down here, don't do it. Like, if the small camp already spawned, do not put down a sentry, guys. It is not good. You need to unblock your big camp instead. Unblock your big camp and accept the fact that you did not block the small camp, which you should definitely block on level minute 1. It is very important and very good as well. So, and the Shaker had enough time to do this. But instead of like blocking this with a sentry, then just deward your big camp. So the enemy is forced to move there to block it as well. So let's see. Shaker's like coming now a little bit, denying. Sadly, he's not getting... Okay, he got a deny, very good. But the problem right now is basically he has 0 mana. And the Nature's just blocking the big camp over and over again. And the Shaker's not even blocking the small camp. Fun fact, the Nature's Prophet could have easily stacked this camp over there. If he was like smart enough to just like hit it and run over there. Because for some reason the Nature's is scared of a level 2 Shaker without any mana. Which is surprising. Because as you can see, the laning stage is basically very steady. And you don't want this to happen. I'm going to show you an example. So the lane is always in this area here. Which is bad. As an offlaner, you always want your wave to be here, in this area. And how to achieve this is basically either the Abaddon pulls the creeps back. So the Drow is like going to have your creeps under the tower and is like pushing into you. Or the Shaker just like pulls this once. And even if the Nature's gets like the pull off, you just kill these creeps. And then you pull your creeps over there. Which is good, because the Drow Ranger cannot harass. The Drow Ranger cannot CS under the tower. I mean, sure she can, but it's very hard for a Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger hates it CSing under a tower. Because she doesn't want to tank the creeps. She doesn't want to run away. She just wants a steady and stable lane. As it is right now. That's basically it. So make sure to pull your wave back. Either Abaddon re-aggros to the range creep here right now, or the Shaker just pulls this. Like one of these options are there. Or you have like a big camp and you just pull the big camp. It's also an option, but like he doesn't have the big camp, so, and he's not even buying a sentry, which is pretty sad. Now he's getting mana after 3 minutes. Just think about it. 3 minutes. And you position 4 his mana now. Now he's getting the Lotus, which is okay. Like, he's ready there. But if you just look at the wave is like still staying there forever. Which is not good. The Abaddon is not even re-aggroing it. Now you have a big camp, which is good. He's trying to pull. Nature interrupts it perfectly. All good. Well played by the Nature. But you just see, like, Nature, Earthshaker did not do anything on this lane, basically. The only thing he did was, like, blocking this camp with a sentry, and it's immediately unblocked again. So he literally did not do anything on this lane, kind of. Besides soaking experience and getting, like, 2 or 3 denies. That's it. Other than that, Shaker was basically a creep, and he did not do anything. So the next lane is middle lane. So now we're watching the mid lane on the Storm Spirit a little bit. Like, the thing is already, I can tell you, if the Kunkka would be good, Storm Spirit would have gotten whomped already. Because the Shaker took experience, which is very, very hard to play against them. But let's see how the Storm does. He pulls the wave back, very good on the range creep. The problem is it's a Kunkka, so it's like very hard like contesting this. The only downside I'm seeing right now is basically the Storm is not abusing the fact that he's a range hero. Like, he needs to hit the Kunkka way more. If you're just rewatching this right now, I'm gonna show you guys. So in this situation here, he could easily hit the Kunkka 3 times. Hit him. Just hit him. Instead he's focusing on the creeps, but he needs to abuse the fact that he's a range hero, and he's not doing it. Now he hits him once. So he hits him once in like 1 minute, or twice. Yeah, he hits him twice. He missed once, and he hit him once. He missed once, and he hit him once, my bad. So yeah, now he's hitting a little bit, but the problem is now he's like kind of low HP, and now he's scared, because he lost a little bit of HP, he lost 2 range creeps, and now he's kind of fucked again. Which is like not good. I'm not completely blaming this on the Shaker, but he's like he's not abusing the fact that he's the range hero, and the Kunkka is the melee hero. He respects him too much. And this is what's going on here, basically. Now he's hitting him, but he needs to keep hitting him. Apply more pressure on the enemy. Now he plays for the rune. Kunkka goes for top rune, all good. One thing I do not like here is, for example, the Storm is going for for his boots. I'm not sure why, but I don't think I like it that much. Like, I get the point, Kunkka's a melee hero, but in my opinion, he could easily go for like a little bit more stats. Like 1 Nully, or like a stick, or whatever, like anything that gives you a little bit more stats, or like the ability to harass the Kunkka even more. Because if you look at this, he just shows me that he's scared of the Kunkka with the boots. Because he's not playing aggro. Like, if he plays aggro, and he runs at the Kunkka with the boots, I heckin' love it. But if he's not, these boots are kind of useless. If you just look at it, like how he's playing. He's not really like aggroing that much. The Kunkka harasses the Storm Spirit better than the Storm Spirit the Kunkka, which is not ideal. It should be at least a minimum 50-50, because the Kunkka is harassing very good, and the Storm can harass very good as well. But the Storm needs to get more balls, and like, just do it. Just harass him and don't care about the Kunkka. If you lose HP, you will get it back with Tangos or like your bottle. Remember that. So the Storm definitely, like, he's playing okay, but he needs way more confidence, in my opinion. That is like the biggest upside or downside, whatever you want to call it here. So laning stage overall, I would say they did okay. As you saw, the supports were like a little bit useless, in my opinion. Like, but it's like kind of normal in lower MMR brackets. Like, supports do not know what to do usually, which is not a bad thing. Like, they also just need to learn, and they need to understand what they need to do. But now we're gonna go, like, we just looked at the laning stages. Now I want to look into the like mid to late game, what they're doing, because in my opinion, this is like the most important thing. How to end the game, basically. Especially if you play against Magnus, Patch, and Kunkka. Like, these heroes are actually pretty strong at, like, what is it called? At defending the base. It's like a pretty wide split, yes. Jump, I mean, sorry. It's a pretty wide jump. But I just want to see how they're going to end the game and what they're doing to like, achieve it. Let's just look at the Luna, because I'm pretty sure, like, he's the person that needs to lead a little bit. Because he's the +1. He's the strongest hero on the map, kind of. So they're pushing the tower together. They are also like kind of grouped together on the map, as you can see, which I like. Like, it is very good. They're getting a nature skill. Now they're going to Tormentor. I'm not sure if this is like needed, because they can easily go to the high ground as well if they want to. Like, the problem in this situation right here. Like, if you just look at this. Luna gets hooked. I respect the point that they're like still together and grouping and like fighting them together. And they're winning the fight perfectly, all good. But this is the reason why you guys are losing games. Going high ground without any big kill, like Nature's Prophet is whatever, nobody cares about the Natures. He has a buyback, he can come back in. Without any vision, without ages, and without like a very, very big items, for example, is so greedy and so risky that you can easily lose the game here. Like if the Luna was not quick enough with his like BKB Manta, I can guarantee you Patch eats him and Luna is probably dying if he's unlucky. So this is like, at the end of the day, it is good because they won. But if you think about it, it is the most riskiest shit. And that's the reason why people lose these games. Because they're going high ground without getting like any benefit and without like understanding what is risky and what is not. Because this right here is like, maybe the enemy's called GG, I don't know, I can't see it. But like, overall, I would say this is way too risky in my opinion. They need to be like, playing safer. Because I'm pretty sure Rush is up. And they can easily go for the Rush. Like, yeah. Like the Rush is literally chilling there. It's the first Aegis, minute 25. And instead of taking the Aegis, they're going high ground instantly. And risking the fact. So now, we just look at it. The enemies are respawning in like 10 seconds, all of them. Storm, 0 mana. He's literally chilling here. All of them are waiting. They don't have BKBs, they don't have really spells. They're just waiting and pushing the towers. But if the enemies are coming out now and they're fighting them, they're going to lose the fight. Look. Like, this is like the classic. That's the problem why people are usually lose games. Because they do not understand when to go back and what to do. And the easiest thing to say is basically, I'm going to show you the example what I mean. So, you take tier 2. You get a nature skill. You take the Tormentor. Easy. Now, you can just say, guys, let's go for Rush. Or guys, let's farm the entire map. Because you can farm this over there. You can farm all this. You can farm all this. You can farm the triangle. You can farm your triangle. And you can literally farm your jungle as well. Like your wave, the top wave is like a little bit bad, but it will push or somebody can TP there. The mid wave is in a good position. The bottom wave is in a good position. That basically means you can farm the entire map. You do not need to do this shit here. Because this is a moment where you can literally lose. And a lot of games are lost because of this. So whenever you don't know what to do, and you have heroes that can easily take Rush or farm the entire map, do it. You don't have any pressure of ending the game. Whenever you start ending the game, there's always the risk that you will die on the high ground and you lose the game. Because you need to remember, if you go high ground, the enemies can always be 10 heroes. You always need to expect your enemies to have 5 buybacks and they will just run at you and fuck you over completely. So remember these things. Do not go high ground if you don't have any benefit. Or if you don't have any big advantage, like 2 more items or like an Aegis, for example. So let's go back a little bit again. So they died on the high ground. Let's see what they're doing after. So Luna respawns. They're still not thinking about Russia, in my opinion. Like Luna TP top, which is very good. But if we just look at the movement, they're not going Rush yet. Now they take a fight top for some reason. I'm not sure if it's... Let me double check that actually. I want to see why do they take the fight? Is it because of the enemies or is it because of them? Because they see the Kunkka, that basically means they can just like run in here. Okay, the enemies are just like waiting there and Abaddon just runs in. Okay. I see. And his team is just ready and they're fighting them. Okay. Like I really hope the intention of them was to go Rush. Because if yes, very good. And they also like understood the fact that the Kunkka is bottom. And they can literally just like fight them top because they are not 5 heroes. Which is a good thing. I like that. There are 5, Kunkka's keeping in. He's not gonna cancel, I can guarantee that. Yeah, he's not. Now all of them are dead. So, I pray they take in Rush now after this. I get the point. Yo guys, let's force buybacks. No, you will not force buyback. Go Rush, then you can go high ground. Let's see. Okay, thanks God they're doing it. Because Luna was, I'm pretty sure Luna was not thinking about going Rush. He was hitting jungle and he wanted to go high ground or something, I think. Or they keep hitting the jungle, I don't know. Okay, this is good. Now Luna has Aegis. Now you can go high ground. Because now your risk of like dying twice and losing the fight easily is definitely way lower. But it is still very risky against enemy lineup. Because they have 2 heroes that are like very, very scary to go high ground. First of all, Patch, and second off is the Magnus. So you need to be very, very sure what you're doing. Like, they are lucky they have a Luna, so they see the Magnus whenever he jumps in, kind of, because of the night vision. But I need to, like, always remember. So, as you can see, they took a high ground fight. Let's see if they won it. Sadly, the Storm died first. I want to see it again. She got a repeat, probably. Yeah, he got RP'd. So Storm got RP'd. Free camera. Storm got RP'd. The problem here in this situation is basically Luna cannot hit and Draw Ranger can hit without getting pressured, as you can see. Like now she gets pressured and she almost dies, but now she kills everybody basically. Oh, he's so close. He had a stick, he did not press it, sadly. But like this is the risk of like going high ground without like having an enemy dead or something. There's always the chance the enemies are like 10 or like 8 or 7 heroes and they will just fight you guys. So this again, it is risky what they're doing. They can literally just go middle if they want to and hit this. But Magnus is up in 20 seconds, so I would recommend going just back, which they do not do. And this is the reason why people losing games, because they're going high ground without understanding when to go back and when to go in. You just need to think about your items and you like cooldowns. You don't have BKB, get the fuck out of this high ground, please. If you don't have any spells as well. Because the enemies, they will fight you. As you can see. Like the enemy, you guys are lucky they're not waiting for the Magnus. Because if they just wait like, let's say 4 more seconds, the Magnus would be there, they can scale you back, and then you have a problem. Because you are literally standing in the 2-4s. So you are lucky the enemies are also like not really paying attention a lot. So now Magnus is up, you're gonna get skewered. You're lucky he's not skewing you into tier 4s. But that's like, if he just skews you into tier 4, you're basically dead. And your Abaddon is not even caring about it. But I hope you guys understand what I mean with these points. Because going high ground is very easy and simple. But you always need to have the respect of your enemies. Which is the biggest problem here. And in a lot of brackets as well. Like, it's not just in Legend bracket, this is basically in every bracket. Even higher model games sometimes, like 9 to 10k average, are usually like this. The hardest part of Dota usually is to end the game and to understand when to end the game. And sometimes it is just like, you need to accept the fact that you are farming 40 minutes AFK just to end the game. Sometimes you just can't do anything about it. And you need to accept it. So now they have Megas. The game should be free now, but I'm pretty sure the enemies are still defending. That's why the game goes so long. Probably 2 or 3 more minutes. They literally died again, just because they went for high ground again. So this is also a classic. Instead of like focusing on the ancients, they literally see the Magnus. They can just jump the mech. They don't. Now they're gonna get dragged into the fountain, like close to the fountain, and then they're taking a fight against them. Now they're gonna go fountain, and now they're gonna buy back. Now you have the problem. You're gonna get skewered in or like pushed in. Now you all die, now they defend, because they bought back, basically. So please try to avoid fountain, and try to avoid overcommitting too much. Just focus on your objectives, and whenever you have the possibility to burst or like kill the enemies fast in the position, do it, but do not overchase. Overchasing is the worst shit, and will always like cost you a few seconds to like lose the game. I really hope this could like give you some examples what I mean, and I really hope you understand my insights a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm talking like a little bit too much or like too quickly, but yeah, thanks for watching. And if you like this format, let me know in the comments, and if you want like more of these formats, like please just let me know and hit me up in the comments and say, yo, can you do it about like Divine or whatever, and maybe I will do it about your game. So yeah, thanks for watching, peace, bye bye.